What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to another YouTube Live here with the Sooner Surge, as we are here to talk really several things. One being kind of mid-season recap after this slate of games today, kind of what looks like for OU coming around the corner. But yeah, if you haven't watched the USC game, wow, this is exciting. To say the least. Mario Williams just fumbled, and Notre Dame picks and scoops and scores. It's 48-20. Lincoln Riley is getting run out of South Bend, Indiana.
Hey,
Probably on his way to Irving, Texas, to become the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys next season.
Yeah, you better be happy, Jeremy, as a Cowboys fan. You better love Lincoln.
I would.
Dude.
Hey, they spent all week trying to field punts with water being sprayed at him. Maybe they should have practiced covering kickoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brett is converting Catholic for a week. Brett, I think most Sooner fans were as well. That was, guys, I know we're not going to talk all USC here, but you have to. That was, their defense actually played pretty well.
Yeah, Caleb Williams just kissed the Heisman Trophy goodbye.
oh,
Dylan Gabriel moves up in the ranks. Yep.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
Odds now. He's plus 900.
Yeah, only behind Michael Penix. So
hey, what happened? Like Lincoln Riley, guys, he cannot coach if you bring pressure with 4 or 5 people. He can't do it. He can't coach again.
Can't coach when you drop 80.
Well, I mean, it all comes down to is they don't have the players in the trenches. That's been the weakness for years.
They never will.
But
they have offensive linemen that can do the split. So let's get.
Well, I mean, if you know,
this is the worst offensive line.
I mean, they only like to use their yoga bands and yoga mats. I mean, that's all they do in workouts all year.
This is by far the worst offensive line Lincoln has ever had. Like,
yeah, but it doesn't help that Caleb.
Do you remember?
He runs 10 yards back every time. Just step up and make it throw. But whatever. Hey, USC, they're not physical. They're going to lose 4 games this year, I think.
They have Utah next week, and
sure.
Utah's going to physically punish them, dude.
Guys, we want everyone to go watch Rudy tonight. Be inspired even more with this Fighting Irish crew. I thought Freeman was in over his head, but obviously I was wrong. It was Lincoln Riley that was in over his head. Wow. Just a total debacle. You could sense the frustration. Caleb Williams near tears. Mario Williams yelling at each other. They fumbled. Wait, Brett, they fumbled again? It was 48-20.
Yeah.
Did they fumble
they
another
just
one?
fumbled again. Yeah.
Hang half 100.
No.
Hang half 100 on these boys.
Throw it in the end zone. Throw it in the end zone, Sam.
Yeah,
Notre Dame took over from the USC 36. So.
Hey guys, I want to watch that press tonight. But hey, OU fans, how happy are you we got BV as coach? Let's go, boys.
Hey,
I'm
and
so glad.
people were writing us off after year 1, man, and now guess who's laughing?
Who's in the better spot?
Exactly.
Well, hey, what's the odds that Lincoln Riley says we're close after tonight?
Very, very high. That's going to be.
I would put the odds at minus 2,000, not plus minus 2,000.
He's going to Dallas, guys. Promise you. He's not going to be there next year.
As a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Dallas or Chicago, he'll be there next year.
Chicago's a dumpster fire. I don't even think he could go there if Caleb is guaranteed to get drafted there. Like,
hey, did you see though? He commented about how much easier the coaching schedule is to raise a family as an NFL coach. Like, he's gone, dude. He's bolting.
Well, it's because he's going to coach in the NFL for 10 years and he's going to retire. And
yeah, that's his goal all along. He doesn't care about like Brent Venables cares about developing these guys into young men. Lincoln Riley's just there to get paid, guys.
Hey, we'll get to OU in a second, guys. We got to keep going this. Richard's loving every minute of this. Same here, Richard. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, who was I'm not trying to start. Who was the person behind Lincoln Riley? Like, she looked like she's like 28 years old. Is she the nutrition person? Like, she's not the get back coach.
It was
Lincoln
probably Annie Hansen.
Lincoln Riley needs to get on, coach. He's like the Bart Simpson where he's kind of backing up into the scrub.
Hey,
Did y'all see the guy that used to run down the sidelines at OU, running down the sidelines there?
Yes.
Do you remember him? What was his name?
I don't even remember.
I don't know, but I remember last week seeing Annie Hansen, so I don't know if that's who Jerem's talking about.
No.
I wasn't watching.
No, he was not talking about her.
Dude,
Moving
the
on.
jokes could go for
Moving on.
This would be hilarious. Is
I might
Notre
just say
Dame
for the
fans are
post-game
storming
presser.
the field. The Notre Dame fans are storming.
Oh, let's talk about that for a second. Storming the field. Washington today stormed the field. I don't understand that.
That was their biggest
I
win in a long time, Jay.
Rival win against a top 10 team.
That was their biggest win ever.
They won a national title, Jeremy.
Win.
A long time ago.
Okay. What year?
I don't know. Early 80s, maybe? Maybe I'm wrong. I thought they did.
Hey, what a week. OU gets the bye win, dominating on the bye this week. It was, another shutout for the Sooners. And then Lincoln Riley gets destroyed. This is Merry Christmas in October, guys.
They claimed one in 91, Jay.
Okay, I knew they did. Hey, so guys, Lincoln Riley, they're gonna lose 2 or 3 games at least. But now here's the deal. You could be rooting for Lincoln Riley later in the year, guys.
No, I would rather not.
What? You may need him to beat somebody in the Pac-12.
The ACC should. You had Louisville lose tonight. That's one of the undefeated teams in the ACC gone. If those teams kind of stumble over each other, I think
who did Louisville lose to?
Louisville lost to Pitt.
They lost tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
To Pitt?
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, Shiloh says Colorado, this is a true statement. Colorado always storms the field. I don't know what's going on in Colorado right now, except Deion's not it. I promise you that. I know you disagree with me, Hunter, but DJ, you're right. Caleb Williams would have had a much better line, better receivers, way better defense, and a coach that actually cares.
I don't think only Caleb Williams is starting to regret not leaving. You look at Spencer Rattler to lose to Florida tonight with the stat line that he put up. They're now 2-4.
Dude, Spencer Rattler's phenomenal, dude.
Hey, let me ask you all a question, and let me ask the viewers too. Please comment on this question. This might sound kind of crazy, but take away quarterbacks aside, is Jeff Lebby a better offensive mind than Lincoln Riley? Is his offense better for winning big games than Lincoln Riley?
I don't know.
Is it better suited for it? I think it is.
I just don't know. I just don't know if you can take the QB aspect out of it, and how would you compare that?
What's the score on the Miami game?
What?
North Carolina was up 35-17 last time.
Yeah, it's still 35-17, and
they're not going unscathed in the ACC though.
I'm starting to like North Carolina a lot. You get Taz Walker back. He was unfairly suspended for a bit, and so he's back. He scored tonight for them. So I really like Florida State struggled a lot. They have those big wins to open the year, but
they look mighty good today.
Hey, there's Claire's on here. Alabama with the win today.
Milrose looking better, but he threw a risky little drop pass over to the tight end that was about could have been picked, but he definitely looked better. They hard question about Lincoln, Jason. Jason Brickman here. I agree because Lincoln, I've always said, is the best offensive mind in the game. But Notre Dame, I guess if you can't block up front, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
Okay, let me ask you this a different way. OU versus Iowa State this year, if Lincoln Riley was the head coach, does OU put up 50 on him? No. He can't. Those defenses get him, man. Those drop 8 defenses.
He always for the most part, put up points against Iowa State.
Who?
Yeah, he struggled a couple times.
A couple times he struggled, but I mean, the year they lost, like with Baker, I think they put up 38. The years that they squeaked by in Norman, they put up like 48. Like they hung a good amount of points.
This comment by Richard though here is interesting because really what Lebby's done with Dylan Gabriel, guys, is way better than what maybe Lincoln Riley did with the guys he had.
But you also have to think about that he was able to develop and recruit all those guys too, was Lincoln Riley. So
Yes, he's a great offensive mind. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. He's a good offensive mind. I mean,
but
It
he's
is right. Lincoln only wants Caleb to eat. That's all. That's it. That relationship. Although there were some heated things on the sideline tonight throughout the game. Thought that was interesting.
Mhm.
Culture problem.
Right. It's a culture that's all about money. I'm sure we all saw the quote where Caleb Williams said that he can make more money going back to USC than if he got drafted first overall in the NFL draft.
His Beats by Dre deal must be insane if that's the case, because that first round draft slot is, I think it's like 30,000 or 30 million just in signing bonus, and then
He probably has a house the size of Lincoln Riley's.
I don't think he has a house. I would think he lives in probably $1 million apartment.
Jason, are you talking about tonight or just in general?
I think he's talking about when he was at OU, he did make adjustments. I mean, Lincoln Riley was.
Yeah, he
Lincoln
did.
Riley
I'm not saying he's bad. That's not what I'm saying.
You guys remember the Georgia game? Like, I wouldn't say he made.
Unreal.
I wouldn't say he made adjustments.
That game struggled. The squib kick killed OU in that game, but
that's different because they're playing a good team, really good team. They struggled against massive good teams. They did.
Look, if he was in Dallas or even talking about the NFL, I mean, this is.
He was this week. Was that confirmed?
I think it is confirmed. And look, he did the same thing when he was at OU and they lost to Baylor. Wasn't it the week they lost to Baylor?
Well, it all started. It wasn't just that week, because that was in first week in November or last week in October. He already took the USC job.
Hey,
the stuff was dealt with back in early September when the job opened. So,
hey, clarify this real quick, Hunter. Jason said he didn't make good in-game adjustments.
Yeah, I agree with that. He did not.
I thought he did sometimes.
I completely disagree. He would take the foot off the gas way too much.
That was the
big thing. And then when it's time to make that adjustment, I didn't feel he ever did it.
Did you notice in tonight's game what he did from the get-go, guys? He talked all week that the defense isn't as bad as everyone's saying, yet they snapped the ball under 5 throughout most of the game. They were not in a hurry. They were trying to keep their defense off the field. They changed who they were. Bad coaching.
You can't do that.
Hey, you can't. But listen,
bad coaching.
But the defense is historically bad. You have to roll your same style of offense and just win it in a shootout like you've done the past however many weeks for UFC, where they've been going into those shootout type of games.
Hey, they're never going to get to the next level when they get guys like Bear Alexander, who he was. Why would you leave where you were at to go to USC when you're going to be coached there? I know he did it for money, but that's what I'm getting at. They're never going to win anything if they're doing their culture is for money. Just like Colorado, your culture can't just be for money. You're not going to win it.
You're never going to win anything with the strength program that Lincoln Riley.
Did you see the stat?
Hey, is it Benny Wiley or Richard Simmons? Who's the strength coach? Is it Benny Wiley or Richard Simmons?
I thought it was Benny Wiley.
You know who Richard Simmons is, Hunter?
Richard Simmons.
No.
Hey, did you see the stat that Barry put out from Sooners 360 tonight on Twitter?
No.
He said that Lincoln Riley, I think there's still not one player. He has not won a championship game. He's always had a player with Jerry Schmidt on there to win a championship game.
Championship? I saw that, but I got a little confused. What championship has he won?
The Big 12 championships.
Yeah, Jeremy, a lot of people are agreeing with you, Richard Simmons.
Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah, maybe so, Jeremy.
No player development is absolutely right. There really wasn't much in Oklahoma outside of a couple of guys on offense, and it was QBs.
Well, their defense, OU's defense with guys like Nick Benito and them, they should have been dominant.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I think the strength coach might be Richard Simmons.
Maybe.
Eddie Weeks said Richard Simmons is the strength coach with his long socks. and tight shorts. That's exactly right. Hey, putting on the oldies. Hey, you know what else no one's talking about? Cliff Kingsbury.
What's he doing there?
Hey, you can't have Kingsbury and Riley together anyway. Come on.
I said I thought that could be an issue when they made that hire on. And then you see tonight, something was off with Caleb. I don't know. I feel like you kind of, when you have two QB coaches with the resumes that they have, when you have them saying different things possibly to a quarterback, I feel like that could be room for
Hey, one thing I'll say, we were talking about Levy earlier in OU. Go watch Lincoln Riley's offense. Jeremy, you ripped Levy last year about all the screen passes. He throws it down the field way more than Lincoln Riley does. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, Levy goes down the field a lot more.
That game tonight was atrocious. And
why is Caleb Williams supposedly the best quarterback in the whole world, and they don't throw the ball down the field? I don't understand.
He's not supposedly. He is the best QB in the country.
That's up for debate, Jackson.
Who's better? Like, honestly.
Michael Penix is playing better right now.
If you want to say he's the best talent, Caleb Williams, I agree with that. Is he the best just pure quarterback? Let me think on that.
I would take him over.
Viewers, what do you think? Is Caleb Williams the absolute best quarterback?
I would say he's the best quarterback, but he will not win the Heisman again.
Well, he's not winning the Heisman after tonight. There's no chance. It's over.
Even
the Heisman is not Caleb Williams.
And I'm confused. I was shocked by how many people were favoring him from the get-go as a two-time Heisman winner. You have to be pretty much perfect to win it for a second time. There's a reason it didn't happen once.
Listen, we do have the supers turned on. Thanks for being on this, guys. I want to see your comments. Is Caleb Williams the best quarterback in college football? And second of all, Caleb Williams over Dylan Gabriel, Hunter?
Caleb Williams over Dylan Gabriel?
I'm saying right now at OU, would you take him?
I mean, I like the DG Heisman hype right now, but yeah, I would take Caleb. He's just he's a one of one. That's that's not a knock on DG. DG has been playing like a Heisman contending quarterback. It's just Caleb Williams, to see the things he has done. He's a one of one.
He's not had a phenomenal season this year though. Like last year, he was phenomenal.
Tonight was ugly. Very ugly.
Tonight was ugly.
Might have been his worst performance.
Not might have, it was.
I mean,
but again, look at the offensive line that he has. How many times was he sacked tonight?
Yeah, but if you look at the turnovers, the 3 turnovers weren't on the offensive line. He just didn't see it.
He had pressure.
Well, I want to think it was maybe the
6 sacks for Notre Dame tonight.
I think it was maybe the second interception he threw where he kind of just like jumped and chucked it across the middle of the field.
Yeah, that was bad.
That made no sense. I was like,
there was no reason to do that.
Hey, he was seeing ghosts just like Sam Darnold was in New England.
Look, guys, I think one of the most impressive wins today was Iowa State in the Big 12. What they did at Cincinnati, and I'm calling it. I know Jay's calling it. We'll call it right now on October 14th. Matt Campbell will own Sark in Ames.
It will be OU versus Iowa State in the Big 12.
OU versus Iowa State in the Big 12 game.
Makes the Big 12 championship, Matt Campbell has to win Coach of the Year. He has to be able to take that team to a Big 12 championship game. Not even have to win.
You know anything,
guys?
You know anything about Cam Little?
He's a stud.
Yeah,
I know.
Kicker at Arkansas, right?
He's an unreal kicker. Yeah,
okay.
He was from Oklahoma though.
Probably didn't recruit him because Lincoln Riley was there.
Hey, guys, if Iowa State is in the Big 12 championship, I will shave my head. I will do it.
I think
Richard says Williams runs up the stats versus a team like San Jose State. That is correct. Always has. Always will. Well, sometimes you don't have to run it up because they're usually allowing 50 points on the opposing side. Tonight, the defense actually played okay.
Hey, do you guys know who won the K-State versus Texas Tech game tonight?
I don't know, but TCU rolled BYU, didn't they?
What happened?
It was 41-11.
Who played quarterback?
Chandler Morris gone.
Who played quarterback?
Hoover, some guy named Hoover, and he lit it up.
Is he good?
I mean, he played well today. BYU, that was shocking. I actually thought at BYU is going to be a tough game, and at Kansas, and then in Stillwater, OSU has found something with Ollie Gordon there. I'm serious, Hunter.
Kansas State won 38-21.
Yeah.
At Tech.
Yeah, they did.
And OSU beat K-State. OSU beat K-State and Kansas, dude.
Hey, guess what? Newsflash. Minus OU in Texas, the Big 12 is not good. Like, it's not.
I think Iowa State's pretty good.
I think Iowa State's okay.
Hey, Hunter, that first half at OU, they played pretty well, did they not?
They did for the first, 21 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they played pretty well. So we've seen – listen.
Which, again –
Iowa State's done this before. They improved throughout the year many times, guys. Go look
Matt Campbell, dude.
The Iowa State, though, like if you're talking about the OU game, really outside of like 3 busted plays, that's what made the score what it was. There was 3 busted plays in the secondary. Iowa State scores 20, and that's how it was a close game for the first quarter and almost a half.
Jimmy agrees with me, although, I mean, it's the last Bedlam game, November 4th. Do we have a kickoff time on that yet? We don't.
No, dude, it's Alan Bowman. Come on.
I agree.
Hey.
He can't run. You got to stop the run. OU's been good against the
weird things.
I'm pretty sure that Kansas dropped about 6 interceptions versus Oklahoma State as well. So,
hey, we did have the play-by-play, just the legendary play-by-play guy from Iowa State on our podcast. On the program. If you haven't checked that out, you need to go back and look at that before the OU Iowa State. But Becht is going to be a stud.
Rocco Becht, yeah.
He is going to be a stud, and he's got a stud name.
Well, he's got NFL in his blood too with his dad, tight end for the Jets.
And we all know why he's playing.
Hey, Jeremy, you were talking about OSU. Dylan Gabriel's got to grow a mustache before that game, like Baker used to. Get him nice little stash.
Hey, Jay, Heather's bringing up some things that we won't like, Jay, because we're on the Iowa State bandwagon. But they did lose to Ohio and Iowa. But hey, did Becht even play in those games?
He played, but Ohio they did not have their best receiver. In Iowa, it was a very close game. Both those games they could have won,
but they didn't play well in them.
They gave up 20 points to Iowa. 20 points.
Missouri was beating Kentucky.
They won.
They won, yes.
Missouri, dude, I'm telling you.
Missouri's pretty good.
I don't understand.
Hunter, their only loss is LSU.
Kentucky, man, what happened to them? They looked great 2 weeks ago, and then now
they didn't play anybody.
Theo Weiss had it.
Florida. I thought Florida was a pretty good team this year.
Guys,
Florida gets the win over South Carolina.
Drinkwitz is not a good coach. I don't care.
He's pretty good.
Theo Weiss had a great game tonight.
He's been playing pretty good.
Good for him.
Good for Theo.
It is good
for Theo.
Hey, guys, what about this take? Shane Beamer. He wasn't ready for that type of job.
I like Beamer ball.
I love him. I don't think he was ready for an SEC job. Do you?
I think South Carolina is a good place to be.
But what was his highest role before that job?
Tight ends coach at OU.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Was he like an associate head coach?
Yeah.
I love it.
No offensive coordinator.
It was like special assistant to the head coach, something like
that. Dude, he's one of my favorites that was at OU, but that's a big jump to South Carolina. And that's a tough
you talk about guys who have maybe not be ready for a head coach. You mentioned Shane Beamer. I'll tell you a guy that is not getting enough credit at OU right now. And he's actually been questioned, especially in recruiting, but watch him on the sidelines because Levy's in the box. Joe John Finley, guys. Joe John Finley, his relationships with the players, kind of his coaching style. Watch him on the sidelines. I think
he's going to be the next OC.
He's very valuable. Well, I don't know. It could be DeMarco Murray.
I think it could be DeMarco, but it is worth noting on like what Jerm mentions. Joe John Finley's calling the plays on the sideline. Obviously, Levy calls it from the box, but he's the one down there. It's him and Tanner Schaefer, I believe, for offense. And I like Joe John a lot. It was really cool to see what they did for the special kind of a few weeks ago on OUDNA, getting to know him a little more. It's, again, culture guy, Oklahoma alum. Really, those type of coaches are so valuable because they've walked the walk before. And looking at who he's bringing in this recruiting class, Devon Mitchell, guys, like probably going to be the starting tight end.
It's the best recruit he's brought in, big
Yeah.
time.
For
Not even
sure.
close. Hey,
Devon Mitchell is going to be a game changer. I mean, right now,
Devon
Stockner,
Mitchell is going to be probably starting when he's supposed to be a senior in high school.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if he enrolls early, possibly. That'd be the second semester of his junior year at college already. That's
if
crazy.
he enrolls early, Hunter, he's going to be at the bowl game this year.
Well, it'll be a playoff.
How?
He'll be practicing for sure, right?
Hey,
It depends on who.
yeah,
It was weird last year. It was only 4 of them. Only 4 did it.
Yeah.
It was like Chapman, McCown.
one of them's already
LeBlanc
gone.
was there.
Yeah, LeBlanc, and then I forget the 4th.
Hey, what's the chances? Now, last time OU won a natty, everybody's compared this team to kind of 2000. Y'all know who they played in the championship that year.
Florida State.
Florida State. Can it happen again?
It could. Dude, Florida State's legit.
Okay. Right now, who would you pick as your top 4? Viewers, who's your top 4 teams in the country right now?
For me, it's Michigan.
Number 1?
Yep.
Wow.
I would agree, I think.
I would very much.
For number 2, I think I would probably have, I don't know, honestly, maybe Washington after their win today. I mean, that's an impressive win. 3, I would have Florida State, and 4, I would have OU. I mean,
you don't have Georgia in the top 4?
No, Georgia's played no.
What?
Oh,
Georgia's
Jackson.
They're the defending champs, bro.
Did you not watch them play against Vanderbilt today, dude?
Yeah, they're
They
sleepwalking.
did that last year too.
I'm gonna go with Georgia, Michigan, then I'd probably go OU, Washington.
I'd go Georgia. I would go Georgia, Florida State, Michigan, OU. Washington's gonna lose. They're a fraud.
Wow. Okay.
I
tell me who their coach is.
I don't know, honestly.
Thank you. Kirby Smart, Brent Venables, Jim Harbaugh. There's 3. You don't know why.
Who's Florida State's coach?
Norvell.
Okay.
I'll give you my
Norvell.
top 5.
Okay.
Washington at 1. I've said that for a few weeks now that they should be 1 or 2. Then you get that big time win over Oregon today. That's a top 8 team. They were like 8th, right? Or were they 7th? I can't remember who was winning.
Wait, Oregon was 7th and Washington.
Oregon was 8th.
Okay.
Washington was 7, right? Or vice versa.
I thought it was 7-6. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Washington at 1, OU at 2, Georgia at 3, and then just a flip of a coin for Michigan or Florida State.
Hey, listen, I'm with Jimmy Satterfield on this. You've won 2 national championships in a row. You're number 1 until somebody beats you, period.
But I understand that.
No, put them number 1, Hunter.
Partially, but at the same time, other than the Kentucky win last week, they have not looked dominant.
What if it was OU that had won 2 in a row and they've been sleepwalking through these?
Hey, Hunter.
They don't rank
Hunter, did they look dominant last year?
Never.
They looked better last year.
They almost lost to Missouri, dude. Hey,
but last year they looked better at this point of the season last year than they do right now.
True.
They lost to Missouri almost last year.
Now I will say this:
didn't lose.
Carson Beck's putting up better numbers than Stetson Bennett ever did.
I will say this: the concern is Brock Powers got injured today.
Exactly.
I haven't heard how bad it was an ankle, but
hey,
that would hurt him.
This is what Heather's saying here is something we probably ought to talk about, because if OU Texas is going to have a rematch, there is bulletin board material already out there. A guy by the name of Danny Stutzman has put it out there, and I think Danny Stutzman would welcome it. But that video, if there's a rematch, now of course Texas already put some bulletin board material up too by saying that if that was the worst we've ever played, and all right, all this stuff. I mean, so I think bulletin board, that game would be a fun matchup. I'd rather play Iowa State myself, but
I would rather play Texas.
I'd rather play Texas. Why would you rather play Iowa State than Texas? Why, Jeremy?
Well, if OU's undefeated,
easier game, dude. Easier game, Jackson.
Right. Dodging competition.
No, you don't dodge it. They earn the right to be there, dude.
Is the tattoo real, guys? Is the tattoo real?
Yes.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know.
It's not real. I thought it was Sharpie.
I don't know.
I think it's real.
He pulled it back out on the Pat McAfee show and showed his leg, and it was on there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's y'all's thoughts on Brent Venables running the scout team quarterback position?
You guys didn't know about that?
Yeah, he used to do it all at Clemson. That's why the Twitter name is Jimmy Green Beans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but I didn't know he was doing it right now at OU.
Yes, he's always done it. He's a DC.
No one talked about it.
It was talked about when he was first hired that Jimmy Green Beans is back. And then that was kind of it.
Well, OU, so let's just look at OU schedule really quickly, guys. So you got UCF, that's an 11 a.m. kickoff. OU's going to be able to run the ball as much as they want in that game. UCF's ranked 121st out of 131 teams. They're awful. Maybe it's a game we see some Javonte Barnes. We see a lot of Sawchuk. We see Caleb Hicks Smothers even. I don't know. That game, you can just run the ball at will. Should be able to. Right. Then you got the two-game road test with at Kansas, right, and at OSU back-to-back on the road. To me, those two games, you don't want to say they're a trap game because after that, it's not like they got some big-time opponent. But those two games on the road are going to – OU's going to have to play well. Let's just say that.
Here's the thing. At least at the Kansas game, you're going to have a lot of OU fans there. I think. I mean, they travel pretty well. Who knows about Jalen Daniels? Is he sitting out this year, guys? I think he is.
I don't think he'll play another down.
He'll be at USC next year.
Yeah, that just goes to show that Malachi Nelson, if that's the case, something went wrong if he's not starting in year 2.
Hey, is he the second or third string quarterback there?
Who?
I would assume he was second.
I would think second.
Backup.
No.
Looking on the sideline, third stringer didn't look like he could do a whole lot. I would say, I think it's probably Nelson, probably second string.
No, Miller Moss. So I guess they're redshirting.
Oh, that's right, Miller Moss. Wasn't he he was, I think, a pretty highly recruited player in high school.
He played pretty well before Lincoln got there.
Yeah.
Eddie says third string. Hey, so you got UCF.
He started like half the season there.
I thought it was all Jackson.
At Kansas, at OSU. Then you come back home. You got West Virginia at home. You go to BYU. You turn around the short week, got TCU at home. That is the schedule. Game times for those. The only ones we know, UCF was 11. Haven't heard
TCU's 11. Else, right? TCU's 11.
TCU's 11.
Friday.
Right.
Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Gonna have to get back to Norman after Thanksgiving for an 11 a.m. kick on Black Friday. Ridiculous.
Agreed.
Yep. Can't wait to be in the SEC.
What's the biggest challenge on those games, guys? Who's the one you feel least confident in?
Now my opinions have changed to Oklahoma State.
What worries you about Oklahoma State? Their defense is not that great.
Nothing worries me. It's just the fact that I can't stand
I'm not worried. It's just the game I would say the least confident in. I don't know.
If OU plays the way they should be dominant in all these games, guys, going into the Big 12 title game. Tickets would be a lot cheaper if they're playing Iowa State, probably, too.
Oh,
yeah,
Iowa State does travel well, though.
Any chance, let me ask you this, any chance Say it is Texas. OU loses to Texas. Any chance both of them get in there?
Depends on what happens in the SEC. Depends on what happens in the Big Ten. ACC's got to stumble. It really just depends on who
Pac-12.
stumbles over each other.
You need Big Ten to cannibalize. You need Penn State to beat Ohio
But-
State and then lose to Michigan. Or
I believe the Big 12, according to ESPN's analytics, has the highest chance right now to get 2 in. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I know OU
I don't
has the
see
highest
how.
chance to make it in and highest chance to win the national championship, according to them. So, and
I don't
Texas
see
isn't
how.
far behind on some of the stuff.
yeah, the Big 12 is weak. You lost another ranked team now in Kansas. They're gone from the rankings. That means you just have OU and Texas ranked.
Yeah, and it
That's
doesn't
a horrible conference.
according to the ESPN FPI, is it a 21% chance to win the national championship or
I think it's 23.
23? Okay.
Yeah, it's the worst the Big 12 has been in a long time, guys. I'm so glad to be getting out of there.
It's such a bad conference, dude.
So bad.
I mean, after who's going to be the next team to run that conference? Utah?
Colorado.
Yeah.
No, not with Dion.
Colorado and Utah.
Yeah. That's probably
I would put my money on Utah for sure.
Utah is a great head coach. Colorado, average.
Average. Okay.
Yes, he's an average head coach, Hunter. What's he done?
A lot.
Tell me what Dion's done.
take a one.
He won 400% more games than he won. Colorado won a year ago.
That's all because he brought guys over. That he got talent. I didn't say he can't get talent.
He's still won.
Shador
4
Sanders is a
games.
4-star recruit.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter was a 5-star, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Travis Hunter, isn't he the best player on that team and one of the best players in the country? Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't like Dion's presser though. Basically throwing the team under the bus. I thought that was kind of
Always.
I don't
That's
like
always
the
what
way
he did.
he said it, but that
Yeah.
type of message is said all the time. Like,
Yeah, Jimmy, West Virginia losing and the way they lost was awful, but
horrible.
that was a horrible way to lose a game, and it affected the Big 12 as well because West Virginia's only loss was a close loss to Penn State, guys.
And West Virginia's schedule is weak. They probably could have ran the table until OU played them, and they'd have been ranked.
but
So
they
that
have
did not
Will
help
Brown as
matters
their
at
head
all.
coach. So, what can you expect? Cormani McClain at OU next year.
Did I not say, Hunter?
that is
I said that this morning.
I don't think they would go after him.
I think they would be foolish to not even attempt at first.
Guys, I'll tell you a name to watch out for. Kobe
Who?
Black, cornerback.
I think we're out on that. But.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
know. I know.
Hey, Cormani McClain, he does not like being there. He's going to transfer out.
I doubt it.
I don't know if he'll transfer out, but his thing has been weird. I expected him to have a big year.
I expected him.
It's been his fault.
Hunter.
It's been his fault.
Let me ask you this.
How, Brody?
Let me ask you this.
He hasn't been putting in the work.
Yeah,
Brody.
Brody's right on that.
Brody, but let me ask you this. Is he
Didn't know y'all
not playing?
followed Colorado practice.
Listen, is he not playing because there's another 21 out there playing named Deion Sanders' son?
Mm-hmm.
He's hurt.
Who?
Shiloh.
He played yesterday.
He did play yesterday, Brody.
Yeah, but
He's
he was
playing in
hurt.
front of McClain. That's weird, isn't
He
it?
plays safety. Shiloh's
Yeah,
a
Shiloh
He
plays safety.
corner.
Cormani-
No ball. No ball. You casual.
Hey, Brody, you actually follow Colorado's practice reports?
I have the app called Twitter. It's anything. ESPN only posts Dion's quotes. That's all they know.
Cormani hasn't been putting in the work, huh?
This is an actual quote from Lincoln.
Dion said that, right?
Hey,
Dion said that.
Hey,
let's hear the Lincoln Riley quote.
Eddie's
thought
right.
our
I was
defense
wrong on
played
that.
good enough to win the football game. We are really disappointed, but not defeated.
Well, their defense did play good enough to win.
I don't know.
Eddie laughs at Twitter. Yeah, I have the same.
Jared, probably because you can't figure out how to use it.
No, actually, I know how to use Twitter. Thank you very much. I am more of a Facebook person, but
Guys, go follow Jeremy on Twitter so he can get above 18 followers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't. Unfortunately, like your generation, Brody, I don't really care how many people follow me on Twitter.
But Jeremy, would you play for Deion Sanders?
Never would I play. Never would I play for Deion Sanders.
Over here,
and I was a I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I loved Deion Sanders as a player when I was young, but I don't like the arrogance. I don't like how in a post game he goes in there and it questions them and asks if they love it or like the game and say that they need to match his passion. I would not want that in a head coach. Sorry.
Hey, I'll put you on the spot, and I want everyone else to answer this question, including everyone in the chat. If you had to pick, who would you rather play for, Deion Sanders or Lincoln Riley?
I'd rather play for Lincoln Riley.
I would pick Lincoln Riley as well.
Are you going to be an offensive player, guys?
Because Lincoln Riley does deflect credit to the players, and Deion pretty much takes everything to himself unless it's blame, and then that goes to the players. Just what I hear in pressers.
I would rather play on the better team, to be honest with you. Whoever has the better team. I mean,
I don't know. Deion, man, he's got that swag.
Oh, wow.
The sidelines, that 24.
Jimmy doesn't like slime time either.
Can you believe it? Lincoln Riley, actual quote, "We are not that far away."
We said he changed it. So he didn't say we're close. He just said we're not that far off.
I wonder if he made a bet on what was going to be the first word said and had to change it up a little bit.
Eddie says, like you, Hunter, depends on what side of the ball you're playing.
Yeah.
That's true, but I don't know. It'd be tough.
You want to play for Lincoln Riley as a defensive player. You just can't.
There was a culture issue with Lincoln Riley when he was at OU. You guys have heard probably some of the, you know what I mean? There were some culture issues at OU.
Where are you going with this?
Wait, are we going back to what we talked about?
No, we're not. We're not. There was culture issues at OU, guys.
Are you talking about the off-season issues with players and all that?
I'm talking about players and coaches.
Okay, yeah.
100%. There are culture issues with Lincoln Riley in Norman, Oklahoma.
Hey, what about today?
Players apparently showed up to practice drunk one day and he didn't care. Yeah, that's culture.
Hey, what about, did y'all see that today with Chris Hammond's ex-OU player giving the NIL to the walk-ons?
I saw that. That was sweet, dude.
That's great.
Jacob Snyder and Kel Fugate from Bixby.
Oh, yeah.
Got to represent.
How far will USC drop in the polls? I would unrank them.
Yeah, they'll be unranked when they lose their fourth straight game.
Hunter, who have they beaten?
I agree with you, Jay.
Arizona State, Jay. That's
but their defense
they
is
stayed
so
a
bad.
top 10 team after the Arizona game, after the Arizona State game, after the Colorado game. Like
they're probably going to be about 20, I bet.
I think they'll drop no farther than like 15, 17.
No, I think they'll drop to about 20.
There's no way they don't lose their next three.
Go through their schedule again. Utah.
They have Utah. I know that next.
They got Utah next week. Actually, forgive me. They'll beat Cal.
Yeah.
They'll beat Cal.
No, California, my bad.
But they'll lose 3 out of these 4. Utah, Washington, UCLA, and Oregon. They go to Oregon.
Hey,
auto.
I got to say something real quick about Eddie's comment here. He is dead on with this. Lincoln Riley, if he was just an OC, he would be killing it still.
Yes, I agree.
He's not a head coach material. I'm sorry. He's not about leading a team. He's so focused on the offense, OC, and I agree with that 100%, Eddie.
Yeah,
hey, the one thing.
Did y'all see that screenshot?
What?
There's a photo going around about like Caleb just dead staring Lincoln Riley in the eye in the press conference.
Well, back to USC, Lincoln Riley. I don't think Alex Grinch is necessarily the absolute problem there. I think that's just Lincoln Riley. That's how his defenses are going to play. I think
Benny Wiley.
Yeah, it starts in the weight room there.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, one thing that's kind of disappointing is so Bob Stoops basically gave Lincoln Riley the keys to the car that was already nicely polished. It was basically pristine. Oil changes were made; it was ready to go, and Lincoln Riley did well with that scenario. But what I didn't like, really, even from the get-go, is Lincoln Riley did not seem to be super thankful for that. Go back and watch some of it. It was almost like he felt like he deserved it.
Jeremy, I agree. But also go look at Lincoln Riley after he lost Bob Stoops' last recruiting classes. When Lincoln Riley has brought in classes, he hasn't done that well.
Agreed.
I mean,
those are Bob Stoops players.
Technically, he never lost Bob Stoops' last recruiting class. Technically, because
I'm saying those were his players. They were not Lincoln Riley's players. Lincoln Riley's players are the ones that all left. Like Spencer.
Do you guys remember when they had Trajan Bridges playing safety for a time?
That was Lincoln Riley's recruit, right?
They actually moved Mekhi Lemon, their 5-star wide receiver, to safety. Literally the exact same situation.
No, that can't be true. Come on now. USC has a great recruiting class. Lincoln Riley, great recruiter, going to out-recruit Oklahoma every single year. Come on now. That's what Colin Cowherd said.
Exactly. Colin Cowherd.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the perfect spot, guys, because entitled people, that's where they are. Southern Cal.
Dude, I could say some crazy things about Colin Cowherd, bro, but we're on live right now.
It is more of a finesse. Even the announcer tonight was saying that Notre Dame's players said we're going to bring the physicality to Caleb Williams' finesseness. They're all finesse, dude. There's no physicality on that squad.
Hey, watch the screen game. Watch the screen game and then watch OU screen game. Way more physical. The receivers blocking and stuff, it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
It is a finesse game for sure.
Again, Jay, Richard Simmons, dude. Did Richard? Never mind.
Well, I'm sure we all have heard the
O'Shea already said it.
Yeah.
P90X. How much P90X were they doing in Norman?
Oh, that's all they do out in Southern Cal. Did y'all see the video of them? They had like a hose spraying their punt returner?
Yeah, that was Zachariah.
Did their defense force a punt tonight?
I don't know, but Zachariah Branch.
Yeah, they did. I think they.
Hey, I don't know. Sucks.
Who?
Mario Williams.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah, he hasn't really panned out, has he?
He never was very good. He was just fast.
He's a good baseball player.
He could be really good. I just think
he could be good.
Yeah, I don't want to question work ethic or anything like that.
I'm not gonna have respect for a player who stomps on OU gear on an Instagram Live. So,
hey, how long ago was it? What? How many months ago when Lincoln Riley was in the SUV after the OSU game with Caleb, when everyone thought it was doom and gloom for Sooners, and Joe C brings in BV, and look at it now,
dude.
I don't know. Toby Keith would say, "How do you like me now?" That's what I'm saying.
Hopefully, Lincoln Riley doesn't see any black Escalades tonight out in Southern Cal. He may not fall asleep tonight. I mean, he's gonna be going through his. I don't think he'll fall asleep if he sees a black Escalade. He'll have the police.
If Mike McCarthy loses Sunday,
Clark Stroud will be there in a heartbeat if Lincoln sees a black Escalade.
Yeah, dude, Mike McCarthy. What a bet he calls.
Oh wait, look at this. What Heather says. I didn't know this.
And they're still going to take him number one.
They were not just watching Caleb Williams either.
Were they watching Caleb Williams or Lincoln Riley?
Personally, me being a Vikings fan, I would take Caleb Williams with the number one.
But you'd have to have Lincoln Riley too, probably.
Package deal. Kevin O'Connell, dude.
You would have to. I think they're a package deal. Like if he goes to Dallas, which I think will probably happen. From the looks of it right now, I think Dallas acquires the number one overall pick to get Caleb.
Yeah,
they refuses to sign with every team other than Dallas.
Micah Parsons is going to somehow never be used again in that defense.
Hey, they were right. USC's defense played.
Hey, he moved to tight end, bro. You'd have Micah Parsons to tight end.
Grinch is for sure going with Riley. They talk about a package deal.
If Caleb ended up in Dallas with Lincoln, that could be bad. No CeeDee Lamb next year. he probably won't be returning.
Tony Pollard gone.
Yeah, no weapon.
Hey, here's the
Way
deal.
to
Here's
Deuce
the
Vaughn,
deal.
guys. Way to
Listen,
the Deuce Vaughn show.
just what the comment says there. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
I don't know.
True.
Well, I mean,
Brody, you weren't on here earlier. With they asked me Caleb or DG.
DG.
Wow.
for this year's team.
DG.
Who's the better quarterback, Brody?
Caleb. Caleb's better.
Who's the best quarterback in college football?
Caleb Williams.
I agree.
I don't know if I can say
Who's
that. He
better?
might be the best talent.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I know who Jeremy's thinking right now.
Michael
Better
Penix.
than-
My bad, Jeremy. Shador Sanders.
Yeah, Shador. Jeremy's gonna go with Shador.
That's right,
You
Jeremy.
know I'm not going with Shador. I can't stand Dion and them.
Hey,
I think Bo
it's
Nix played
support
really
time,
well
baby.
today.
Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a glorified Sam Ellinger, dude. I don't want to hear it.
He played
Bo
well
Nix.
today, though.
Can
He's
someone
not-
Who played,
He did play
who
pretty
played
good.
better, Brody?
Bo
Caleb
Nix is
Williams or
better
Bo
than
Nix?
Caleb Williams. Bo
Nope.
Nix has been in college since Cam
There's
Newton
no way
left
you
Auburn, dude.
said you take Bo Nix over Caleb.
Bo
Williams.
Nix
I didn't
over
say
Cam.
I'd take him over him, Jackson.
Who would you
Quinn
take over?
Ewers, I
him?
might.
Oh, Quinn Ewers over who?
Caleb tonight.
Quinn Ewers is not better than DG.
They had
No,
the same amount of turnovers in their last performance.
Caleb Williams was horrific tonight, guys.
He did also his O line couldn't block anyone.
got sacked
Good.
6 times.
I wouldn't block for him either. DG is a much better leader of men.
I agree with
DG's
that.
got a leader of men above him in BV. It just keeps going down and down and down throughout the system. That's a culture thing, and Lincoln Riley does not create that.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Caleb's a good leader though.
Yes.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say that necessarily.
I mean, he might buy him beats and stuff.
He doesn't buy them. Come on now, they're free.
Yeah.
Heather's correct. USC offensive line. Me and Hunter were texting during the game. They're awful. But here's the thing. That goes back to recruiting. You go get the star players on the outside, receivers and stuff. Go get some portals out of the offensive line. Right?
Dylan Gabriel, mark it down.
Yeah, I'm going Michael Penix or DG, one of those two.
All right. So top two right now. Is it Penix and DG as the top
And
two?
listen,
No.
here's the reason
No.
I think Michael
Who do you
Penix
know?
doesn't
According to
win.
Vegas, yes, Germ.
No.
Bo Nix, Jeremy.
Jordan Travis and Dylan Gabriel.
Guys,
Wow.
I have an audio clip to play for everyone. Okay.
Hey, real quick before you play it, Jackson, I want to say something.
Okay.
To me, you can go off best player, but this is going to come down to this year, whichever team is undefeated. I think that
It
player.
ain't gonna be Washington. Their schedule's way more.
I'm just saying, I think that player has a big advantage. If OU runs the table, there's a high, and Gabriel plays good every game. There's a good chance he wins it.
Very true.
Let's hear it, Hunter. Let's hear it, Jackson.
It will not take long for USC. I would say by the middle of year 2, and that's what it took for Pete Carroll. The middle of year 2, the program started to take off. It will not take.
Idiot Colin Coward, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
O'Shea's
Listen,
bringing it tonight with the comments.
Listen, USC
I
needs
agree.
to recruit Cowherd's
No one who
daughter.
paints their nails is leading me either.
God.
USC needs to go.
That's so true. I saw that, dude.
Hey, USC.
I
needs
wouldn't
to
want to go to
recruit
Chicago.
Cowherd's daughter. She's probably pretty good at a little bit better at
She
blocking.
can handle more men than the USC offensive line.
This
Hey.
is interesting. What if Caleb's throwing these picks, slightly overthrown so that maybe he can go 2 or 3 instead of 1?
He's
that'd
gonna
be
be
crazy theory.
Caleb Williams. Mark it down. I don't think he goes number 1 on the fact of he's going to refuse to sign.
I agree with you.
One of the last QBs to do that, wasn't it Eli Manning, the last one to refuse?
Yeah, Eli Manning did it.
Caleb,
he got drafted by the Chargers, right? Eli Manning, is that right?
yeah, and then
Yeah, and
traded.
refused to go there, went to
Yeah.
New York.
And I mean, Brian Bosworth did it back when they did like the supplement draft. Wasn't that what it was called?
Boz can do whatever he wants.
Like because he didn't want to go to a bad team. Caleb's in the same thing. He does not want to go to a bad team. His dad won't let that happen. So I think he refuses to sign with a lot of teams.
Carl.
DG's going to win the Heisman, guys. Mark it down.
I guess Alex Grinch will be the next head coach at USC.
No, Grinch won't get a head coaching job.
No,
I don't think, unless he goes
right.
to a smaller school.
Hey, Jason and Jeremy.
For the Dallas Cowboys, Alex Grinch, baby.
Jason and
he's
Jeremy.
right. John Elway did do it first.
Jason and Jeremy, when Lincoln Riley gets hired, are you gonna turn in your Cowboys fandom?
If I'll say this, if Lincoln Riley becomes the head coach at Dallas Cowboys, I will probably become the second team that I root for, the Kansas City Chiefs. I will probably just be a Chiefs fan only.
I'm still a Cowboy fan.
I don't know.
He's not going to be.
You know you fans.
There's no way you would start bandwagoning for the Chiefs, bro.
Jeremy's gonna be refreshing Clark Stroud's video for those Monday Mood videos every single day.
I'll still be a Dallas fan, dude.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it anyway. I think he said in the post game tonight he is not going to the Chicago Bears. Talking about Lincoln Riley.
Well, when's their bye week? Because that's when he'll go visit Dallas.
I was being facetious.
There were reports that he talked to a couple of NFL teams this week.
Yeah, I think it was Cowboys were one of them.
Yeah. So
I don't know if the Bears were one or not. I think an LA team was talking to him. So.
I got to ask Jimmy, Mike McDaniels, guys. Is he?
I like him.
He's the real deal.
He's different, dude.
He's a
brilliant mind.
I like him. Yeah,
brilliant.
He's a brilliant mind, but he's kind of a freak, dude. I don't know, man. He's weird.
Freak.
Brilliant mind, though. But
they may make the Super Bowl.
Where did he come from? Because how did he get an NFL job that young?
Well, he was the ball boy in Denver as a kid. His dad
was 49ers
coach there, right?
He was 49ers OC.
Yeah, he was OC at San Francisco and then head coach at.
Look at that. Eddie agrees with me. He's not going to be a Cowboy fan either.
You can't. I'm not a Cowboys fan at all, but you cannot be a Cowboys fan if you're an OU fan if Lincoln Riley goes to Dallas. You can't.
What if he went to the Eagles, Hunter?
Then I wouldn't be an Eagles fan. Like I'm not going to be a fan of a team that Lincoln Riley is coaching at. Absolutely.
What if he got hired at Oklahoma?
Well, first of all, that's not going to happen.
Let me throw a scenario at y'all. This year ends. Lincoln goes to NFL. Caleb says, "I'm going to transfer back to Oklahoma."
That won't happen. But
I'm just saying.
I don't think Venables would allow it.
I don't either.
I don't think he would either.
I don't think he would either.
Nope.
Eddie remembers Ed Too Tall Jones. Eddie, hey, oh yeah, I was a Dallas fan. There, Ed Too Tall Jones.
Jim Jeffcoat.
Jim Jeffcoat, Nate Newen, Larry Allen, big time.
Unfortunately,
Zendeja, Jay, was the kicker's name Tony Zendeja?
Yeah, he was a pretty good kicker.
Unfortunately, I'm too young to know.
Hey, is the SEC down?
Yes.
Guys, SEC down this year?
A little bit. Dallas needs Matt Campbell. That's what Breaking LTV said.
It's the Pac-12. The best conference right now is the Pac-12.
Just ask Hunter. Matt Campbell's coach of the year.
If they make it to the Big 12 championship, yeah. But
no, it'd have to be Brent Venables.
I'm sorry. If Iowa State's in the Big 12 championship.
If OU runs the table?
I don't care. That's how big of an accomplishment. Taking that Iowa State.
No, Brody got it right. Deion's already the coach of the year. He's going to win it no matter what. Every game that plays on national television, it's ridiculous.
So is pretty much
don't watch. Germ, if people like you would stop watching that don't want to watch it, they wouldn't be.
I watch because it's hilarious to watch how they blow a 29-0 lead to Stanford.
Yeah, and guess what? There's millions of other people out there that are giving them great TV rating because they want to watch.
Shedeur Sanders is selling merchandise at halftime.
Okay, I told you earlier today. I disagree.
Guys, hey, potentially an NFL team that Lincoln Riley could go to would be the Las Vegas Raiders. I could see that being a spot for Lincoln
I
Riley.
could see that.
Chargers. Heard it here first.
Yeah.
I think BB will be coach of the year too, Eddie. I agree
If
with you.
Lincoln goes to Dallas, it'd be a little too close for him to come back to this area.
I mean, he'd have cops at his house 24/7 so he doesn't get robbed.
Too many black Escalades in Dallas.
All right, about an hour, guys. Any closing thoughts here? Headed to the next back half of the season.
I mean,
Does
it's
OU run the
a great
table,
night
guys?
to be a Sooner fan, man.
Does OU run the table?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we're close.
OU runs the table. I would agree. It's going to be interesting to see who they play in the Big 12 title
We're
game.
just really not that far off, Jay. We're just really not that far off.
That's right. They're far off. They're going to be far off when they have 3 losses. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining the live tonight. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, click the subscribe button. We've been going on for about an hour here. Probably going to get off. But thanks for joining tonight. We're going to have a lot of content coming to you this week. Brody got a full basketball preview coming out the next few days. Won't want to miss that. And then, obviously, it's game week. So we're going to have some interviews on this week. And you got softball with 2 matchups this week. So it's going to be a busy week for the Sooners. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Love the comments. Appreciate y'all. Have a good weekend. Boomer.
Boomer.